Today I'm doing a quick review on the Tascam DR-10L, which is what I talked about a few weeks ago. Sorry for the delay, went out of town and then just got busy and busier. Time management isn't my problem, it's sticking to my time management plan that's my problem. We're going to go through some of the features that it offers, how to use it in the field, and also compare it to my other lav mic on hand today. So first, right off the bat, you'll notice it's clipped right here on my shirt next to the Countryman EMW, and we're just going to do a comparison between those two mics. I'm not using any sort of condenser mic here today or even my Shure SM57, just lav mics. So first, you're listening to the Tascam DR-10L, and its settings are at a medium-low gain, and I did engage the limiter on it, which is an excellent tool for it to have. Now we're listening to the Countryman EMW, which is being recorded into the Zoom H6 with 12 volts of phantom power. You can kind of hear the difference there. Remember that the Countryman has a high shelf on it, which is a boost in the high-end EQs of about 3 to 6 decibels. I can't remember exactly, so it might have a little more clarity. Back to the Tascam here. Now I will say I am really impressed with this thing. Even though I did the video on how to make it less muddy, for what this is, a lavalier microphone, it sounded remarkably good to me. I used it on a shoot a couple weeks ago where our shotgun ended up failing on the shoot, and I had this on every single person. Use the feed from this microphone into this little tiny recorder. It sounded amazing and very professional, and yeah, I definitely did have to tweak it and go through the whole process of mixing dialogue, but it sounded really good. So the first setting we're going to test on this Tascam is its auto level feature. Right out of the gate, the way I'm monitoring it, it doesn't sound that good, because if I stop talking, it's going to increase its gain to try and adjust itself to the room tone, which is really unhelpful because we don't want to adjust room tone to a meaningful volume in any way, shape, or form. The limiter is still engaged on this unit, on the recorder itself, but to me it's already sounding distorted, and if anything, it's just way too hot. So now I have disengaged the limiter. We're not on auto gain anymore, we're on high gain, and there's no knobs on this device. There is no way to adjust your gain on the fly. There's 4 settings: low, medium, high, and high plus. That would be 5. This is on the high setting, and I'm trying to talk relatively quietly because the limiter is not engaged, but to me, this sounds kind of clippy. Now I'm on the high plus setting with no limiter engaged, and I don't see any application for this setting because even trying to talk at a quiet volume, it sounds absolutely terrible. We'll see how this sounds actually in Premiere. So now I'm back on the medium-low setting, and I did re-engage the limiter just because this is the setting I use when I put this on somebody, whether it's a live event where they're going to be walking around and I don't want to mess with a wireless transmitter and the issues that happen there, or if it's a backup in a recording situation when I don't want to use my EMW and I don't want to give it 48 volts of phantom power, or another situation like that. So if I decide to talk really loud with the limiter engaged, how is this going to work? Is it going to compress this volume the way a limiter should, or is it going to get really clipped? We'll have to find out. But just talking normally, I haven't adjusted these levels at all, and it is going to be kind of quiet. And so for moving forward, we're going to adjust the levels back up to normalize to what the EMW is recording over here on the Zoom H6. So there are other features that you can use along with this little bitty recorder. I mean, it's going to lock all the buttons on it so that if somebody touches them, they're not going to kill the recording. They're not going to change any settings or any volume settings, which is really handy, because if you put this on somebody's belt, they sit down, they stand up, that could become a big issue. So like we mentioned, there is a limiter option, and it seems to be working decently well. There are those 5 gain setting options that we talked about. There is the auto level option, which I didn't like at all. But then from there, you can choose to record in 44.1 or 48.0 kilohertz sample rate. You can choose to record in a 16 or a 24-bit depth. So it's handy to have that kind of a WAV file, high quality recording in such a tiny little recorder. And that's what I'm most impressed about this little thing. It's even smaller than the Zoom H1, which I just have never found meaningful ways to use that on somebody. And it's got its little XY microphones, which seem useless for this operation. So for this little recorder, I'm really impressed with what Tascam has done. And if you just need something to throw on somebody for run and gun audio, or even just a backup, I would definitely recommend the Tascam DR-10. It retails at $200. It was actually on back order. I ordered this from Sweetwater, which is another great retailer for all things audio. Short and sweet today, that's all. I'm going to get back to posting videos every Friday, whether it's about gear, film, or music, or anything else in between talking about this world. Leave a comment if you have any questions, or if you just want to chat and say hi. I'll try to say hi back to you as best as I can. Hit subscribe if you want to keep seeing videos like this. Hit unsubscribe if you don't want to keep seeing videos like this. And I will see you on Friday.